Well, greetings, one and all, and welcome to Tom's Hit Parade Live. Just have to call out one thing here before I get started. I'm a minute before 7 o'clock, my official start time, so I am going to be dinking around here for just a minute. If I can only find what I am looking for. Oh, that's right, that's what folder it's in. For some reason, I'm not with it right now. I'm still recovering from my trip, frankly. Still a little bit tired. Although I shouldn't be, because it's been, I've been home for 3 days. But you know how it is. Even when it's just a 2-hour time change, it's still wants to mess with you. Even when it's a 1-hour time change, which hopefully we don't have to deal with much anymore. Finally, our government's doing something that makes sense. On a novel concept, huh? Anyway, I need to replace my computer. It is so slow. Seriously, computer, what are you doing? Anyway, I'll ignore that while it's figuring out what to do with itself. And as I said, yes, welcome one and all, and greetings from Tom's Hit Parade. I messed up my intro. I told you I'm mentally compromised here. But yes, as the and sorry for the last minute decision to go live. Well, it wasn't really last minute. It was last hour, couple hours. I decided to do this. But yes, I have come back. As I mentioned, I took a little trip out to Oklahoma several days ago. Hey, Anna. And I went to the wedding of Noah and Alyssa, my little brother and now little sister-in-law. It was a wonderful wedding, I am telling you. I'm not going to bore you with the details, because not everybody loves to hear the details about weddings. But it was more beautiful than I ever thought it would be, and not nearly as social anxiety inducing as I thought it would be. So yays all around. But yes, I don't know if Noah is here to watch this, because he and Alyssa are actually driving, or were late this afternoon, driving back home from Dallas, Texas. They just spent nearly a week on their honeymoon in New York City. Yes, they went to New York City for their honeymoon and had an amazing time. So I am so happy, because after all the stress and anxiety and stuff, because hey, weddings aren't stressful at all, They earned some fun and some just, no mental capacity. Well, what am I trying to say? Speaking of no mental capacity, no, something that doesn't require mental pressure. That's what I was trying to say. So yes, a week in City was well earned, and they had a great time. But anyway, as you saw in the subject header of this video, my video is a little jerky, so hopefully what you're watching is not jerky, except for the jerk you're seeing on camera. Anyway, yes, I am going to show you, as you saw in the subject header, the stuff that I brought home from my various record store stops in Oklahoma. Most of the places I went to, I had been to before, and you saw in my vacay vlog, or my crawl and haul video last summer. I did get a chance to go to Gardner's Used Books and Starship Records, and I also unexpectedly got to take a quick trip to Josie Records in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Lots of fun there, but I also went to a store called Vintage Stock, and some of you in the Midwest might recognize the name Vintage Stock. We don't have those out here in the West, but yes, it's basically kind of like an FYE sort of store. They have new and used, but mostly used, CDs, DVDs, video games, and actually they have a comic book section, which I didn't expect to see there. So it's kind of interesting. Both they and Gardner's have a comic book section. I don't know, are comic books unusually popular in the Midwest? I don't know, because that's something that we actually out here in Oregon don't have a whole lot of, is comic book stores. Funny. Anyway, but yes, I went to Vintage Stock, and about half the stuff I brought home from Vintage Stock. I paid for it too, just so you know. And so yes, I thought I would just go through everything that I bought. This video is not going to be terribly long. I just really wanted to show you guys the booty that I brought home. The first thing I'm going to show you is a DVD and it is the one and only thing that I got at a Dollar Tree store. They had that good a selection at the Dollar Tree over there. So there was actually a Dollar Tree literally about 150 feet from my hotel that I stayed in. And this was, it caught my eye at first, and looking at the back, it caught my eye even more. Keane, the British rock band, they did this is called Keane Curate a Night for War Child. And I guess War Child is a benefit or a charity that helps out children displaced by war. So I don't know if they're still a charity, but I would imagine if, the thing going on in Ukraine, they might be involved with that. I don't know. But this DVD was from, gotta love the small print on these, 2008 is what it's from. And as if Keane headlining it wasn't enough, I looked in the back, and the first name that I saw was Teddy Thompson. Those who've been watching me long enough, you know I'm a big Teddy Thompson fan. He does the introduction, a couple songs, starts out the show. And Keane teams up with Brendan Benson on a couple of songs here. We got appearances by the Magic Numbers, Lily Allen, and Keane. And then Keane does some songs by themselves as well. So, and Pet Shop. Oh, I think I mentioned Pet Shop Boys. Anyway, so yeah, I'm very much looking forward to watching that. So that could be very, very interesting. And now, first of all, I'm going to talk about the store that's probably the least impressive because they have them everywhere, Barnes & Noble. Yes, the last day before I came home, that was the day after the wedding weekend. And so I just decided to pretty much take it easy, although I did a lot more walking than I had intended to do. So I guess I only sort of took it easy. My feet did not take it easy that day, let's put it that way. And I actually found 4 CDs from Barnes & Noble that I picked up. I had a little bit of extra cash by the end of my trip. Pentatonix PTX Volume 4. What made me curious about these is, I mean, not only am I a Pentatonix fan, but the selection of songs on this one. They have, classic songs like Bohemian Rhapsody and Imagine. I assume that's the John Lennon song. They have really old songs like Over the Rainbow and Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy. And they also have more recent songs like, I guess actually the most recent song is Take On Me, the a-ha cover from the 80s. So yeah, the wide breadth of songs in terms of when they were released originally kind of intrigued me about that. Then we have Joe Walsh. This is a guy who has recorded with the Eagles, and I'm sure with other bands that escapes me at the moment, but this is his album, But Seriously Folks. And it has, I believe, his biggest hit, Life's Been Good, kind of a tongue-in-cheek satirical song. And I'd never listened to the rest of the album, and it has been years, actually probably decades, since I've heard Life's Been Good. I mean, yes, I could stream it at any time I wanted to. It's just I've never thought to do so. And so I thought, and this was like $6.99, so I figured, what the heck? And check out the rest of the album. Maybe the rest of the album is just as good. And, it's one of the few Pentatonix albums you've ever listened to. And then I decided to, on this trip, I finished out my Kelly Clarkson discography. So I got The Meaning of Life. Yes, I paid full price for that one, but I only paid $4.99 for Stronger. So I think those kind of evened out how much I spent on each of them. So yes, 2 Kelly Clarkson and a couple other things. Pardon me while I munch on Easter-themed pastel-colored M&Ms. I love M&Ms. So I guess not only is this a haul video, but this is Dessert Time with Tom. And then these ones I bought at Starship. These ones. Yeah, I talk good American. Now I have a couple of albums, reissue albums, remastered with bonus tracks by Casey and the Sunshine Band that were released on this reissue label. And Starship had a couple of albums by the Pointer Sisters. So I picked up So Excited, as well as, what's this one called? Special Things. And they've got several of their classic songs on these albums. They were $15 each, but they were still sealed brand new. So, and I actually paid $15 each for the 2 Casey and the Sunshine Band ones, and they were actually used. So I figured, hey, this is a pretty good deal. And then a few years ago, there was an R&B artist who put out an album that I really, really enjoyed. Her name was Priscilla Renee, and that album was called Colors. This is her debut album, Jukebox. Fair warning, though, if you really liked Colors, from what I've heard, I haven't listened to any of these CDs yet, but from what I've heard, Jukebox is markedly different from Colored, so be aware of that and before you hop on and listen to it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to listening. I'm looking forward to listening to all of these. Let's face it. And then this last one that I picked up at Starship is by Alan Johannes. Now this guy, and I assume I'm pronouncing that name correctly, this guy was the frontman for a band, a rock band that I really, really enjoyed from the, they started in, actually they went from the 90s through the middle of the 2000s, a rock band called 11. And they were kind of hard rock, just about as hard rock as I care to like, but there was something about them that I just loved. And so yes, they put out 5 albums, and his primary bandmate, Natasha Schneider, passed away in 2012 or thereabouts, I believe. And this album is from 2010. She might have passed away before 2012. I'm not sure. But yes, this is a solo album by Alan Johannes. And the hype sticker on this one had a quote from Josh Homme, who was apparently heavily influenced to getting into music by this album. So, trivia note. So, yeah, those are my hauls from those 2 stores. And I'm kind of going by doing this in order of the stores that I went to. Not in order of the stores that I went to, but grouped by the stores that I went to. And then these next 5, I believe, yes, the next 5, I got at Josie Records. So yes, we were only there for an hour, but I found some stuff that I wanted to pick up. I listened to, I believe it was from a bargain bag recently, Fatboy Slim, one of their albums. And so I picked up another one of their albums, Better Living Through Chemistry. And this is a band that I've always wanted to try out. I believe they're kind of like Weezer, kind of nerd rock sort of stuff. Nerf Herder. Obviously, their name is a Star Wars reference, if you are not aware. So yes, we're looking forward to trying that one out. And then a couple of the definitive collection titles from the Universal family labels. I got one by the Four Tops. You gotta love the Four Tops, Motown. And Patti LaBelle. So there you go. Looking forward to delving into them. I did have, and I'm kind of surprised I don't have it anymore. I must have decided to get rid of it at some point. One of the Millennium Collection, just those very short, like 10-track hits collections by the Four Tops. But these definitive ones are much more expansive. This one has 18 songs. And yes, these definitive collection ones usually have upwards of 20 tracks on them. So they're more packed than those Millennium I can't remember. 20th Century Masters Millennium Collection. That's what they're called. Those are the kind of like the budget edition ones. And the final one I picked up at Josie is a jazz artist that I'm sure I've heard a couple of his songs here and there, incidentally, but I've never picked up an album by this guy, Gerald Albright, a jazz saxophonist. And just the name of the album, Grooveology, that kind of caught my interest. So I decided give Gerald Albright a spin, especially at the tune of $3. Can't pass up a bargain like that. Yes, I actually did not find anything in their budget bin CD section down below, down underneath on the floor level. They have a budget section, which I looked through. Didn't really find anything that suited me. Excuse me. Let's have another M&M, shall we? And then these next 6 CDs I picked up at Gardner's Used Books. And again, pretty much everything that they sell, just about everything they sell is $3.95. A couple of these were $4.95, so very reasonable prices, and CDs are usually in very good condition. Again, we have Fatboy Slim with You've Come a Long Way, Baby. And then we have one that I was really hoping to find, and it's not in as great a condition as I was hoping for, but it's good enough for me, I think. I've started becoming a little more tolerant of how many scratches and stuff there are on CDs. Tears for Fears, The Seeds of Love. This is the remastered edition with bonus tracks. So was hoping to find that one after picking up. Actually, I guess I haven't told you guys yet. I picked up Songs from the Big Chair and The Hurting on the 2 CD deluxe editions. I found a great deal on them on eBay a few weeks back, so I picked those up. And continuing along, filled another gap in my Kelly Clarkson collection, All I Ever Wanted. And then Duncan Shake. This is, yes, I had this one in a bargain bag, but that CD was pretty scratched up. That was below my threshold for scratch tolerance. So I decided to pick up a much less abused copy of it there. Along with, I like that first album so much that I also picked up his sophomore album, Humming. And then the final one I picked up, and I think I showed in my playlist video last month, this guy's, it wasn't his debut album, but I think it was his major label debut. Listened to it, I enjoyed it, and enjoyed it enough to pick up his subsequent album, Matt Nathanson, with his next album, Some Mad Hope. This is his fourth album, I think, and Beneath These Fireworks, which is the one I was listening to and showed off last month, was his third album, I think. And then, just like that, we are down to my last store that I went to, or the store that I bought stuff of, and yeah, the store that I bought the most from, and the last store I went to, because it was the last day of my stay there before I flew home the next day, and that is Vintage Stock. And Vintage Stock has quite a bit of good stuff. I was not expecting to find very much there at all, but they really surprised me. And the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these were on sale for $1 each. Well, the first one wasn't on sale because its price tag actually says 99 cents. But Mary Wells, she is a, was she Motown? Yeah, Motown singer from the 60s. Her hit, My Guy, was one of the big Motown hits. And this is a 2-disc collection of hers called Looking Back, 1961 to 1964. So, yes, I mean, especially for 99 cents, got to dip a bit more into Mary Wells. And then this next artist, I bought these thinking that the 2-disc greatest hits collection of hers that I had was before these CDs, but actually it turns out that is actually after these CDs. So there are probably a good number of songs from these 3 CDs on that collection. So I might have some redundancy here, but you never know when there are good album cuts hiding in the studio albums that didn't appear on the greatest hits. But anyway, this artist's name is Sissel, and she's a Norwegian singer. And this is her album, Into Paradise. And a story about Sissel, you might not recognize her by the name, but those of you who have seen the movie Titanic, the Celine Dion song, My Heart Will Go On, that obviously is Celine Dion. But all of the other female singing that you heard, you know, just like the wordless singing during some of the instrumental passages, that voice is Sissel's, just so you know. That's kind of a frame of reference, if you will. And this is her self-titled album. Yes, the sticker said $2.79 on these, but they were on sale for 99 cents. And her album, My Heart. So, yes, pick up 3. What am I hearing rattling inside here? I didn't hear this rattling before, so you are going to be surprised as I am to find out what is in here. Oh, just a customer service card, you know. Sign up online and we'll tell you more about the stuff we want to sell you. That kind of thing. Oh, okay. Nice to see you, Anna. Take care. Thanks for stopping by. And the next one, the next $1.99 find was, again, a bargain bag inspired purchase. CeCe Peniston. This is her debut album, Finally. I got her sophomore album in a recent bargain bag and liked it so much that I decided to pick this one up. And this next one is an artist that I have listened to a couple of times and really enjoyed. She actually did an album with B.B. King in the early 90s, I believe, and I really enjoyed that, so I decided to try exploring her a little bit more. And when I saw this one, I decided to pick it up. Diane Shure, and let me see that her name is being covered up by the price sticker. But yes, Diane Shure. She is one interesting thing about her that she is actually blind. So a blind and female vocalist, a jazz vocalist mostly. And actually, I think she plays piano as well. But this is an album of cover songs, Great American Songbook standards and stuff like that. And so I've kind of got a little bit of a thing for the American Songbook right now. So I decided to pick that one up. And she's got a beautiful voice. In case you've never decided to check her out, I encourage you to do so. And now we're moving up to the more expensive stuff, but when you see what I got, you'll see I've got quite a bit of good stuff here. The Essential Etta James, 2 CDs worth of Etta James. Really, really like her stuff as well. And yes, I've got the album that pretty much does it for me. I just, when I saw this, I just had to pick it up. Her album At Last, that has that song on it, one of the hugest hits of the 50s and 60s. A little Eminem break. And then we have the Essential Earth, Wind, and Fire. You got all of that funky soul stuff, and they were one of the best groups at it. And I believe it was Noah that gave me a Smash Mouth CD. He was casting off CDs and offered that one up to me, and I thought, what the heck? And so I picked up one of their other ones. This is their self-titled one. I'm still missing one that was right in that group. Had some of their bigger hits on it. I don't care about their later stuff because it's just kind of meh, but I'm still looking for that one. I can't remember what the name of it is. And this next one kind of has an interesting story about it. And first of all, it actually was not $6.99. It was sealed in plastic, and there was a $3.99 sticker on it, so it was reduced price. But yes, Matt Wertz. This album came out. This is kind of his major label debut. It was put out on Universal, and he was on the. It was, I guess you could say it's a semi-major label. It was called Network Records, or it is called Network. They're distributed by a major company. But anyway, this album has about 5 songs, so almost half the songs on this album were on his previous album, Everything in Between, which I really, really enjoy. It's one of my favorite albums from the 2000s. So yes, a lot of redundant material on this CD, but I decided to pick it up. What the heck? And there just might be some great songs amongst the not previously heard by me material on there. So. And then, hey, look, another Kelly Clarkson CD. So. And then this one was one of the better finds that I found. It is Stevie Nicks, and this is a greatest hits collection, as you can see here, but it's got a CD and a DVD in it. And I'm hoping I didn't try to peel the price stickers off. I kind of wanted to leave everything, as it's shown, as I saw it, in the stores. So I haven't taken the price stickers off yet. Hopefully they are removable pretty easily. But yeah, for $6, a CD and DVD of Stevie Nicks. Some people don't care for her voice, and I think my sister was one of them that did not care much for her voice, but she put out some great songs. And then we have the country singer Katie Oslin. Her album 80s Ladies was, I think, in a bargain bag that I did earlier this year, and I liked it enough that I picked up. That was her debut album. This is her sophomore album, This Woman. So there you go. And just a few more left here. This one, well, actually, this one I did take out of its wrapper. It was still sealed in cellophane, and the price sticker was actually on the cellophane, which was not unlike most of the things here. They actually had the price sticker on and then a wrapping of cellophane around it. But this one, Gregory Porter, he is a jazz and soul singer. This is an album of Nat King Cole covers. And yeah, this one, I can't remember if this was on the dollar table or not. But regardless, I got it for just, if not $1, just for a few bucks. And it's a relatively recent album. 2016, I want to say. And again, with the copyright dates, they put them so darn small, I can't read them. But yeah, I really enjoy Gregory Porter's voice. I've got, actually, I think I showed you in my year-end video, I have a 2 CD greatest hits collection that's got a lot of unreleased stuff. And I really like his voice, and so I had to get that one. But here, I saved the best CD for last. I've got 1 CD left and 1 DVD. But this was the score of this trip. I have been kind of had this on my want list for quite a while, for several years now. It's out of print, and it's been kind of hard to find. And I was just flipping through the CDs there on my last day in Tulsa, and there it was, right there on the racks. Whitney Houston, her debut album. This is the deluxe anniversary edition with several bonus tracks, remixes, as well as a DVD. And it was priced, it was brand new, so it had never been opened before, $15.99. So it was retail price, but the retail price for what it was released and 10 years ago, I think. So I was absolutely floored that I found this and I picked it up, because that's one of my favorite albums from the 90s, or was it the late 80s? I can't remember, but yeah, you should have seen me. I was almost jumping up and down, hopping up and down on my, right there in the aisle when I found this. So yes, excellent find, and it was brand new and sealed. I mean, I have trouble seeing it for under $20 used on eBay and Discogs. So I was, heck yeah, I did not even have it with that. And now the final item in my Oklahoma Haul Part 2. Don't know when we're going to have a Part 3. It's going to be a while. Is another thing that I was kind of interested, hoping I would find some at some point, but I did not have it on my list. I just saw it there, and hey, there it is. Sonic Highways by the Foo Fighters. This is kind of, from what I know, I haven't watched it yet. I think this is some kind of a documentary type of series. 8 songs, 8 studios, 8 cities, 8 episodes, where they go to a different city and, I don't know, record a song that's inspired by the city or something like that. I won't take the time to read the blurb on the back of it, but it had me intrigued from the moment I heard about the project. And I have the album, the CD album of Sonic Highways, but I'd been wanting to see the docuseries, and now I've got it, and I only had to pay $7.99 for it. And the discs are pristine, in completely spotless condition. So I think I did good. But yes, that is my haul for Oklahoma for the year of 2022. I tell you, I'm still recovering from my trip. So, but yeah, I had so much fun. I think I actually had just as much fun on that trip, even though, as I did in my trip last summer, even though this trip was half as long. So yes, I think I'm going to finish my M&Ms. And I just, as I said, the wedding was beautiful. I made a few new friends with the rest of the members of the groom squad. A bunch of good people. No one knows how to pick friends. No self-service intended by that statement. But yeah, great group of friends. Intelligent, funny, personable. I can't talk them up more. But yeah, what else can I say about the trip? Well, I helped put out a fire. A small fire started at after the wedding reception. Let's just say there were candles in the place settings. It's a mistake anybody could have made, a little bit, tiny little mishap. But the couple people were kind of panicking, not sure what to do, and so I grabbed a couple glasses of water and helped throw them on there and help put the fire out. So I'm a hero. Well, okay, not really, but yes, that was a little unexpected excitement from the wedding. But yeah, fun stuff, nice decorations, and the guests were wonderful, and I don't know what else to say. That I couldn't think of anything that could have made the wedding better. The vows were beautiful. I'm going to start repeating myself if I don't have an actual script or actual notes to read from, which I don't. Anyway, if you guys want to hear details about the wedding, I can share them in a future video. But suffice to say, I had a heck of a lot of fun. I got to hang with Noah for half a day. As busy as he was and as stressed as he was, and just, a couple of days away from actually getting married, he had the time to block out a half a day to just bum around with me around Tulsa. And that's, that alone was just amazing of him. He's a great friend, a great little brother, and now he's a married man, which is still kind of weird, But anyway, yeah, a great trip. I had a whole lot of fun. And I guess that's it. So yes, thanks for hanging out with me. And that'll do it for this Oklahoma Haul 2022. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, hit that like button and share it with your friends. And give me your thoughts, questions, suggestions, or constructive criticisms in the comments section below. Also, scroll down to the description for links to my Twitter and Instagram feeds, and links to my favorite fellow YouTubers who are all worth checking out. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and browse my past videos. And be sure to ring that notifications bell so you'll be the first to know each time I drop a new video. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and remember, life's too short to be a music snob. See ya!